people that I wanted hadn't showed up for me. And I was upset, and I was frustrated, and I was hurt, and I was angry, and I was pretty freaking sad about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Queer Connections. That's right, I am Keita, your queer dating coach and matchmaker, and I am back in full effect. I did take some time off. I really needed to rest and recover, but I'm back just in time to end 2023 and to kick off 2024. And in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring you lessons that I got from 2023 that I'm taking into the new year. Now, before I get started, please like, subscribe, and of course hit that bell so you won't miss all the tips, tools, and strategies that I will be giving to you about how to date with intention, how to have healthier relationships, and most importantly, how to have the best relationship with yourself. I wanted to make this video because it's been a little bit of a rough year for me, and honestly I've talked to a lot of people and it has felt that way for a majority of people that I've talked to, and so I think it's always a positive thing to go back and look back and reflect on the things that you've learned, right? Because that's the only way that we can get better and really take what we've learned and kick the new year off in a different direction. So let's get started. Lesson number one for me was rest and recovery matter. Now, I know this, I walk my clients through this, but sometimes, especially because I'm running a business, I find it hard to take breaks or to sit down somewhere, as my mom would say. But what I really got present to this year is that Gus, God, universe, spirit, however, whatever name you want to use, but Gus will get loud. And y'all, Gus really sat me down, especially these last couple of months. But that's why, I wasn't really on social media. I wasn't posting videos as much because I noticed that I needed to rest and recover. And anytime that I was trying to push through those things, I got hurt, I got bit by my niece's dog, or I got sick, or something would happen to where I would just be this emotional wreck and I couldn't do anything. So I was forced to sit down and rest and journal and meditate and just be with myself. Even when I was out with my friends, a few days later, I got COVID and I was like, damn, I can't even enjoy life now, right? But as upset as I was, I enjoyed the rest. I enjoyed letting go of some things and having other people take care of things when I originally probably would have taken care of it, but would have been stressed all at the same time. And at the end of the day, I don't think we rest and relax enough. And when we do, we feel shame and guilt about it because we're in this constant hustle and grind culture, and you got to work hard 24/7, 365, or you don't want it bad enough. And those are the things that we're told. And all that does is put us in a position to not take care of ourselves. And when we don't do that, we don't get what we want anyway. I know that if I don't rest, it impacts the way that I interact with my clients, with my wife, with my friends, and my family. And I become someone that is just hard to be around. And I don't want that for myself or other people. And that's really just me having self-awareness enough to say damn, Keita, you really have to do what you need to do to rest yourself. So, I can show up as the person that I truly want to be. And if this is you and you want to rest and recover more in 2024 without all the shame and guilt, I'm going to put a list of 3 simple ways that you can do that without all the shame and the guilt in the description below. So lesson number 2 is grow because not to fix yourself. So let me explain. Every other video on my timeline and in my algorithms is about growth, trauma, manifesting, healing, etc. And while that's all great, and I love that I'm healing and people out there are healing, it seems I was in this period of time where I was just doing certain things to fix something about myself or a situation. Now, please just give me an amen if that's something that you've experienced for yourself. But I was meditating and journaling and reading certain books, not because I enjoyed doing those things as much as I did when I first started it, but because it was going to solve some issue that I would think that would elevate my life. And look, everybody wants to be better. I know people out there want to be better for themselves. They want to be better for their partner. They want to be better so they can find a partner. But fixing yourself is short term. And honestly, I think that people don't know the difference. I'm going to break down the difference between fixing and healing. So fixing is problem focused. Fixing is often about identifying a specific problem and applying a solution to it. It implies that something is broken or it's wrong or it's not working. Whereas healing is this integrative process. That means that you're integrating your experiences, your emotions, and traumas to move forward to a state of wholeness. Fixing is often about external solutions. So the approach to fixing usually involves external solutions or interventions. So that could mean you're getting advice or actions or making these changes from an outside perspective. Now, healing is an internal process. This often requires self-reflection, self-awareness, and personal growth. Healing comes from within, and it's about understanding and working through these underlying issues. Fixing is immediate and surface level. So that means that you want immediate results, and it may address this surface level symptom rather than getting to what's really underneath things. Healing is long-term and it's deeply rooted. So it's going to take longer. It is a journey, right? It's not a destination, but it deals with the root causes of what's actually bringing up these issues, not just the symptoms. Fixing is control-oriented and involves a mindset of control where you attempt to directly alter a situation or behavior. Healing is about empowerment and acceptance. It's about learning to accept yourself and about finding peace with past experiences and with your past traumas. It's less about changing what is and more about understanding and growing from it. And so to put that in the context of what I do for coaching and why maybe some people are turned off is because most people come to me to fix. They want me to give them advice on specific dating problems like how to flirt better, when really what you'll get when you work with me is healing. So we're going to understand your emotional patterns, your past relationship traumas, and those deep-seated fears that are getting in the way of you fostering healthier future relationships. Being in fix-it mode perpetuates the cycles of the beliefs that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, or I can only get this particular thing if I work harder on myself. And that cycle is never beneficial. And this is something that I have had to get out of myself. So if you truly want to heal and not fix, you want to start with accepting that who you are right now, in this present moment, is just the way you wound up being. It's not wrong, it's not bad, it just is. And it took you decades to get there. Growth is about self-awareness and being truthful enough with yourself that you are whole, perfect, and complete right now. And then you love yourself. You have to love yourself because everyone else around you is going to beat you up. They're going to beat you up for the smallest mistakes that you make. So loving yourself is real growth. Fixing doesn't allow for that grace and that love and miracles to happen. So you want to grow because you choose to for yourself. And that's going to bring me to lesson number 3. Authenticity is the key to love, to healthy relationships, to the life that you truly want. I watched a video a couple months back, and it was about the Spain scale of emotion, Spain, S-P-A-N-E. And they did a study about the different emotions and how we vibrate. They measured those. And what the study found was that authenticity is the most powerful vibration that we radiate. It is 4,000 times more powerful than love. Now, as a dating and relationship coach, I'm all about love. I think love is the key. I was like, love is everything. Everybody needs to love, right? But when I heard this about authenticity, I was like, it made me think, and I got a little bit intrigued, and I had to start thinking, When we say things out of love, or when you want to communicate something or do something out of love, we're always very careful about it. Do you notice? Sometimes we water down what we want to say, or you try to be nice about it so you don't offend the other person that you're talking to. People pleasers, you know this all too well. And even when you do communicate out of love, or you do this thing out of love, and you mean it in a loving way, there's always a little bit of shame and guilt or anxiety because you actually don't know what's going to happen. All of that is still present, even when it's out of love, even when we're radiating love. Now, on the flip side, I want you to think about how you communicate or who you are and how you show up as, like when you act authentically. You feel empowered, or at least I do. I feel lighter because I'm glad I just got to say things. And there's no concern, or very little concern, at least for me, with how someone will react or what will happen. And there's a part of me, at least, and I don't know if you resonate with this, that just feels proud that I was able to give the truth in its purest form with me in my purest state. Authenticity is the key to love. Authenticity is the key to relationships. And I tell my clients all the time that you want to be with someone and you want to be in a relationship with someone because of who you are. You want them to choose you because of who you are right now and who you'll grow to be. But you want them to choose you because of who you are, not in spite of who you are. But you can only get there by being authentic. Remember, authenticity is not just laying it out there with no filter. Like people say all the time, I'm just direct and I tell the truth. And it's not just about that. It's about being honest with your loved ones, with your partner, and most importantly, with yourself. And doing that in a respectful and constructive way. And lesson number 4, and this was a big one for me, is when you allow people space to show up for you and help you, they will. Now, there's a lot of people out there that's going to go, oh my gosh, that's not my experience. And they're going to grunt and huff and puff about it. And I've heard people say this before. And I always ask them, who was it or who is it that you're looking for? Whose help are you looking for? We don't look for just anybody to help us. Not majority of us. A lot of us don't. We're looking for specific people. Now, I've had a lot of help in my life, especially early on when I was a teenager. And I haven't been the best at asking for help, but I got a lot of it from my teachers and my coaches and my friends' parents, and even from random strangers that didn't really know me, but they knew somebody else. And I got that a lot when I was growing up. But the help that I wanted was from my parents. The help that I wanted was from someone close to me, even though I had all these people out here that loved me dearly. So like I said before, earlier in my video, it's been a little bit of a rough year. And recently, I was just in this high emotional state a few months back. And I looked at my wife and I said that I always have to do things alone. And nobody helps me. And she didn't understand where I was coming from. But when I got out of that state and actually sat down and reflected and looked back at how far that I've actually come, that was so far from the truth. What was true is that the people that I wanted hadn't showed up for me. And I was upset, and I was frustrated, and I was hurt, and I was angry, and I was pretty freaking sad about it. But what I've been able to discover is that I am surrounded, and you are surrounded by people that are here for you, by people that will show up for you, and by people that will love you. And that's something that I had to discover for myself. I just wasn't looking for them, nor was I coming out and actually asking them directly for their help. I was throwing hints to see if they would read my mind, but I wasn't asking. And yes, I had particular people in my life that I did want to show up for me during that time. And if those people didn't show up, then for me, nobody showed up for me. Nobody helped me. But it was just that I didn't allow for anybody to come in and help me. And so I do want to take the time right now to say to those people that showed up for me, my friends, my family, Anybody that really has ever helped me in my life, regardless of whether you're listening to this or not, or that you'll see it or not, I want to say thank you. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you, because I would not be here in the position that I'm in, and I would not have the business that I have, and would be growing and getting better every day and having the life that I have right now and that I'm working towards without each and every one of you. So thank you, and I am so, so, so grateful for you. And for everybody that's listening, who can you thank today? Who has showed up for you that you hadn't been looking for and that you haven't noticed? And can you even see those people that have been there for you? So the same way that I was specifically looking for my parents or people close to me to help me in a particular way, or certain people to show up for me, you have a picture in your mind about who you want to show up for you and how you want them to show up. But that picture is blocking the view of those people that are standing right in front of you of like, hey, I'm here. And we push those people away. And then we go, well, no one shows up for me. You have to allow space for you to actually see them. You got to get rid of the picture. You got to pull back the curtains and get rid of the way that you think it's supposed to look. Allow space to be surprised, right? Allow space for someone unexpected to show up just for you. And I guarantee you that people will. So those are my lessons of 2023 that I'm taking into the next year. Let me know which ones really stuck out for you. And if I didn't list any, what are your 2023 lessons that you had and how did that impact you? Please feel free to share those in the comments. And if you haven't already, check out my video on relationship lessons from 2023 that I'm taking into the new year. And for my single folks, I also did a video on dating predictions for 2024. So if you want to get a leg up on that, please go ahead and check that video out. I love you all. And remember to trust love one more time and always one more time. Peace.